In this chaotic world where every day someone claims the earth is flat and someone else says they dreamed that chickens have taken over the world, today we're going to dive into a topic that's the kind that both heats up your brain and scares you a little. You might even ask yourself, wow, could it be that I exist somewhere else too? Today's topic is parallel universes. Yeah, the same thing you've seen in movies where the hero of the story goes into another dimension, and there he sees himself as someone else, maybe a friend or even a president. Now, the question is it really possible that another version of you exists somewhere else right now? Like, maybe there's another Amir who, instead of writing a podcast, is working for NASA or has become a comedian. But this isn't just a fantasy made up by Hollywood screenwriters. No, it actually has a scientific basis too. In fact, there are a bunch of top-notch physicists with credentials, theories, and formulas backing it up. But let's get to the main question. How many universes are there? Or better yet, how many dimensions does the universe have? We're used to seeing everything in the framework of 3 dimensions, length, width, and height, and then we add time as another dimension. That makes it 4 dimensions. That's the most straightforward model our minds can accept, but quantum physics says, no my dear, the world is much more complicated than that. Here theories come up, like string theory, which claims that the universe, we're just one of billions of universes, each living its own life in a different dimension. I don't know, but sometimes a small encounter might occur. A déjà vu, a familiar feeling of something you've never experienced, but you're sure you've seen it. Yeah, right now, what exactly are these parallel worlds? Now, what does it mean that someone like me lives in that world? Does it mean that it's going to come out from behind the mirror, or is it hidden in the mirror of the car? No, don't rush. Let's break it down a bit more scientifically, but still keep it light. Look, one of the most popular theories in this area is the multiverse theory, or the theory of multiple universes. A physicist named Hugh Everett back in the 1950s said, man, this quantum mechanics stuff is really strange. Why is it that when you measure a quantum particle, only one of its states is chosen? What if all the states are actually real? See, back then he said, if you make a choice, a new universe is created. So if you ate pizza today, in another universe, you didn't go to the pizza place, you went to a kebab shop. In another one, you didn't eat at all, and you're on a diet. Or in yet another, you're not even around anymore. You've moved on to the spirit world. So what does that mean? It means that every little decision you make creates another version, and it exists in another dimension. Someone else made a different decision and is living a completely different life. Now tell me, how strange could this be? We only see one timeline of our life, but maybe there are billions of versions of this same timeline that we never even realize exist. What are they doing? Imagine you woke up in the morning and were torn between having coffee or tea. In this universe, when you drank coffee, you felt energized. In another universe, you drank tea and got a stomachache. And in yet another, you overslept, spilled coffee on your laptop, and got fired. And if you get into quantum physics, things get even stranger. In previous videos, I also explained that there is a principle called Heisenberg's uncertainty principle, which says you can't know exactly where a particle is and what it's doing, because your own observation affects the outcome. Now, if we were in the quantum world, the result depends on the observer, meaning it's possible, when we don't observe the event, that event could continue along a different path in another branch. So what do physicists say? Are they really making a science fiction movie, or is there actually something to it? If you think these are just the words of some lunatics or Marvel movie writers, I have to tell you no. We're talking about heavyweight physicists like Brian Greene, Michio Kaku, and Neil Tyson. These are people who actually teach at reputable universities, not just on WhatsApp. Brian Greene, for example, is the author of the book The Hidden Reality. He says that we have at least 9 different models of the multiverse, all of which are scientifically examinable. For example, in the bubble multiverse, it's said that our universe is just one of billions of bubbles, each of which could have its own physical laws. So in one of them, gravity might not work. In another, the speed of light could be twice what it is here. And in yet another, maybe light doesn't even exist at all. The quantum multiverse, or quantum multiverse theory, is the same as the many worlds interpretation that Hugh Everett proposed. This means that every choice creates a branch of reality, and in this way it gives rise to infinite universes. According to the mathematical multiverse theory, or mathematical multiverse, every possible mathematical structure could itself be a real universe. That means even that ridiculous equation you never understood in high school might have created a universe somewhere. By the way, have you heard about déjà vu? That moment when you feel like you've seen something before, you pause for a second and say, hey, I was exactly here before, this scene is repetitive. Some people say it's just a mind game, but another group, including some theorists who support the multiverse, say maybe these are leaks from parallel universes. Maybe another version of you is doing the exact same thing right now, and you're momentarily sensing that moment. Isn't it scary? Or maybe it's actually really cool. Now, the big question is it possible to travel between these parallel worlds, or are we just left to long for it? Well, to be honest, physics for now is a bit... But theoretically, some scientists say that if we find a way, by manipulating the structure of space-time, maybe one day we could open a rift or a portal between worlds. Now, whether this portal would be like the wardrobe door in Narnia or a friendly black hole, no one knows yet. One of these ideas is to use wormholes. If they are real, they could act as shortcuts between 2 points in space-time. Now, what if one of them connects to another world? Some great movies have used this idea, like Interstellar, which kind of plays with real physics. Of course, Nolan just loves to blow people's minds. Don't think it's just in the lab either. No, cinema actually enjoys these kinds of theories even more. In the movie Everything Everywhere All at Once, we saw the main character travel between her own world and another version of herself. And in each world she has a different skill or a different life. The same goes for the movie Spider-Man No Way Home. We saw different Peter Parkers from various universes come together in one world, and in the middle of all that, even Dr. Octopus was getting emotional. Now, here's the point. If one day technology really gives you the power to jump into another world, would you want to go? I mean, are you willing to leave your own world behind and go to a world where maybe you have money but you're alone? Or a world where you're successful but sick? Or even a world where you don't exist at all? Maybe the world you're in right now is actually the best one for you. We've talked this much, so what's the point in the end? How does it help us to know that another version of us is living in another world? That's a good question. If you want to look at it very realistically, maybe we'll never be able to connect with that world at all. We can't go there, they can't come here, and we don't even know if they're real or not. But what makes these concepts important is the new perspective they give us on our own lives, if you really think about it. A version of, you exist. That means the choices you make today shape your future. In another world, maybe you're the one who stuck with a certain passion, reached your goal, and you're happier every day. Or maybe that world makes you appreciate your current world even more. So let's dig a little deeper. Some people say this world, some say this is the only world, while others believe there are thousands of worlds, thousands of versions. But in the end, there is only one you, the one who is listening to this right now, in this very moment, in this very world. So maybe parallel universes are just an excuse for us to tell ourselves, be that person. You want to be in one of those other worlds, but right here, right now, sir or ma'am, my parallel version, if you're listening to this podcast in another world, raise your hand. We can't see you, but at least it makes us happy. And to you, dear friends in this very world, if you like this kind of topic, write to us and follow us until the next podcast. Goodbye.